Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and it is time for our January hop. Hey, I'm using the Trust Your Gut stamp set, the Organ Donor stamp set, the Fancy Heart die, and the Kawaii Guts. I'm also using the stylized scallop rectangle dies and the stylized rectangle dies. So I went ahead and I cut out pattern paper using those dies, and now I'll be stamping on the backgrounds. That paper is actually from Doodlebug. I'll talk about that a little later in the video. But anyways, what I'm doing is I'm stamping each sentiment on the bottom of the stylized rectangle die in VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And they're all just funny kind of punny sentiments to go along with the little organs. And I thought they'd be cute for Valentines, so that's what I'm making today. So just super quick freehand stamping. I'm not using my MISTI today. But I did try out the stamp on the side before I actually stamped it on my main image. You want to do that to make sure that it's seasoned enough and the ink is sticking. Sometimes it takes a couple of, stampings to get it going, and then the stamps from Jaded Blossom stamp perfectly fine. So that's what I'm doing here. So now I'm stamping the organ that's going to be going on that corresponding little background. And I've already stamped those organs onto pattern papers and fussy cut them out. And I also used my Memento Tuxedo Black ink to run it around the edge just to, hide the, if I didn't make a perfect cut. So there are my 4 little organ shapes that I've already cut out, and my Memento that I ran around the edges, like I said. I'm using my Funny Valentine, which is Pebbles, and then that paper is from Doodlebug. It's called Sweet Things Love Letters in 12-inch paper. So I'm also using cut cardstocks, G-Man Savannah Limba 110-pound cover weight cardstock, and it's got like a wood grain to it. And I cut it out at 4.25 by 11 and scored it at 5.5, so I have vertical A2 size cards. So now I'm just quickly putting on my scalloped backgrounds. Those are all papers from the My Funny Valentine Pebbles pad. So super quick and easy stuff. I just came up with a quick little layout, and then I'm making some quick Valentine cards. So, like I always say, when you make a homemade card, it doesn't have to be a masterpiece every single time. I think these turned out super cute, but you don't have to spend tons and tons of time on them. This is sped up to about 2 times. So this took about a half an hour to put everything together, to get through making all of these. But that's not including the cutting time because I had already cut everything out. So there we are. So now I'm just trying to line it up so it's straight because, I'm challenged at getting things straight nowadays. So we're just trying to get them down straight. And I'm using my ATG gun, as you can see. There we are. And I'm just lining those all up. Now I'm using my 2-way glue pen from Zig. And I'm quickly going to paper piece these little images onto, or the organs. That's the liver. And that's going on that. I'm a liver, not a fighter. Kind of funny. This one is a note from the heart, and that's a heart, obviously. And I'm just applying the Zig 2-way glue to the back using my EK Success tweezers so I can hold it and stick it down. There we go. So these are super fast and easy little cards, and I think adorable. This is a kidney. So the sentiment is, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There we are. So popping my little kidney on there. How cute is that? Now, I'm also going to make a little money holder or treat holder too, using the paper bag die. So I'm quickly putting it together using red line tape. And once I put the red line tape, there we go. I just scored the 2 little tabs. Once I put the red line tape, I sort of score it down. I'll cut it first, then I'll score it down with my Teflon bone folder. And then and I try to get it up close, tight to the edge, because then that'll make a nice seam on your treat. Now, all these treats from Jaded Blossom are super easy to put together. I always say, you can, super easy. You can put a chocolate bar in this guy. You can put some pencils, markers, treats, money, whatever. So now I cut that paper bag die out again in that love paper. I'm just trimming it down so I can get, a different pattern on the opening area there. I'm just using my craft tacky glue from Simon Says Stamp, and I'll slip it in there and line it up. And how pretty is that? Now, if you're using a two-sided paper, that looks awesome also. You wouldn't even have to do this, but I wanted to use white as my background. So here is that same stylized rectangle die. And I'm going to apply that to the front of my paper bag die. Now, I also used that G-Mund cut cardstock Savannah Limba paper with the wood grain pattern. The only thing with that kind of stuff, with the pressed end patterns, if you're using your Gemini, sometimes it can, sort of press out some of the pattern. I was okay this time, but that happens sometimes with embossed papers. There we go. So that is my the backing to the fancy heart dies. And I cut that out of the same pad of paper. And there we go. And there's the I lung you, sort of like I love you, which is kind of fun, right? And now I'm going to apply my lungs to my little lung stamping there with my two-way glue pen again and my EK6S tweezers, just getting my fingers out of the way. So super fast. So wasn't this an adorable release? I thought this was so darn cute. You just can't, it's adorable. It's adorable. So now I'm using American Crafts ribbon, and it says Happy Valentine's Day on there. And I'm not going to tie a bow this time. I'm just tying a knot. And I'm just trying to center it so you can read the Happy Valentine's Day part. And I'll put a little glue dot to hold it in place there. And then I'll tie it and get it in place. But yeah, this release was so adorable. I've been using those fancy heart dies like nobody's business, so I can see those coming in super duper handy, because I love using hearts as like an embellishment on my cards, and one of those dies cuts out a bunch of them, which is kind of fun. So I use my reverse tweezers to hold my ribbon while I tied it. That's a neat little trick. A lot of people do that. And I've got some ribbon or material scissors there, fabric scissors, to cut my ribbon. And there we go. Like, how cute is that? Now, I used VersaFine Onyx Black ink when I stamped those organs and cut them out on the pattern paper too. So here we are. I'm using Simon Says stamps. I guess Doodlebug made these for them. It was like the eyeballs. It was, they were called, what is it called here? Shape Sprinkles. They're called All Eyes on You. And I originally thought I'll put the little heart eyes on them. But I don't know. After I put them on, I was like, meh. I don't really like the heart eyes on there. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was because they were red. I'm not sure what was going on. But I decided, nope, those are coming off. Now, if you don't push them down and you take them off right away, you can do that. It won't rip. But if you push them down hard, they're staying there and there's going to be some rippage. So now I'm just using the same set of eyeballs from Doodlebug, and I'm just replacing the heart ones. I just didn't like the whole look of those. But I just love these eyes on these little characters. They just crack me up. Too funny. I'm using an X-Acto blade there. Sometimes I like to use an X-Acto blade to pick up the eyeball to place it, usually. Sometimes it flips around on me. But there we go. And you see, you can make a really quick little card layout. So now I'm using the leftover paper, 1.5 inches wide strips. And I'm just going to use my grid paper to line up and put a slice of that pattern paper on the inside of each card, just, to add something there. Now I'm going to be doing some stamping on the inside of the cards. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it in VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And it first says, I heart your guts. It's kind of a play on I hate your guts, except for I love your guts. It's the opposite. And Happy Valentine's Day. Now I did some surgery to remove, to cut that off of one of my stamp sets. But they'll line up again and work perfectly fine. So there we go. So they're all stamped. Now I'm going to add some of those little hearts to each of them. I'm using my miniature Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, and I'll be putting 3 hearts on each one. And that's Pure Poppy cardstock from Paper Tray Ink. And those were left over from a card design earlier in the week. super handy. Like I said, I really like the look of these little hearts. So fun. There we go. Isn't that cute? And I'll do that to each card. I had to pull away just because I'm having the hardest time getting the little backings off the dimensionals, and it's easy to get them off. It's just that I cut my nails right off, so I've got nothing to grab the backing with, which is kind of funny. So I'm using my Studio Katia embellishment wand to pick up the hearts and get them in place. There we go. Like I said, this is a super fast and easy set of cards, and a treat too, which is kind of fun. I don't know if do you guys get your kids gifts for Valentine's Day? I always did. My dad always got us something for Valentine's Day, like if it was like chocolates or a little toy or something. It's just something he always did, and he used to do it on his own without my mom, which is kind of rare because my mom kind of did everything. So the fact that he would get something for us was always nice at Valentine's Day. So this is, I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers 1/2-inch corner chomper, and I'm just chomping the upper left-hand corner, and then I'm all done. Thank you so much for stopping by, everybody. Make sure to hop along and see everybody's projects. And, you know, I think you need all this release in your life. It's just adorable. I just can't get enough of all these adorable little images. They are just the sweetest, as sweet as can be. Thanks, everyone. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.